Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Age of Wonders for Thrones of Blood. And we're working away on getting our early game up and running. Now, we had a bit of a false start last game. We got our ass kicked, but we have such a unique and interesting start here. We got a bone dragon here, a tier 4 mythic unit costing 45 mana per turn, which is going to put a strain on our early game economy, but is going to allow us to expand aggressively, which is really, really cool. I think we could use the Bone Dragon to take on this army stack here, and I think we need the momentum of the Bone Dragon to do this sort of stuff. I'm going to fight this manually. Now, we are up against a pretty tough stack here. We've got a tier 3 Tyrant Knight, we've got a Mortalist, an Aspirant Knight, an Archer, and a Longbow. The Longbow is going to be a big problem for us. I'm going to pull my Immortal back. I'm probably not going to get much use out of him. Well, I guess he could be used to charge here. Yeah, we need to watch out for the long shot. So, I mean, it's a very long-ranged unit here. We want to avoid being in range of the long shot, but we do want to try to encourage them to come forward and charge attack us if we can. So I'm thinking if I position my dragon here in defense mode, with my hero providing him with shield wall, and then we have our group of archers around him as well, I think we'll be able to do some interesting stuff. Okay, decaying and life seeded. Here comes the charge attack. Couple charge attacks, perfect. Unit receives 25% less healing. Decaying counters regeneration. I think I'm going to drop the Rite of Life Leeching on my hero here. And I'm going to try and get a little bit of health back on my dragon. Not much, but a little bit. I'm going to go up and get into melee with this guy, just so they have to use an attack or something on him. Let's finish this guy off here. And I want to try and get 3 clean hits here for the regen. And I want to get up into melee with this longbow to force him to step back. So I'm going to use my Draining Bite here to get as much healing as possible. Obscured by Obstacle. If I were to step 1 tile to the right, we could do more. Definitely want to try to keep our dragon alive if we can, which means I'm happy to put this archer into a vulnerable position to try and bait them into attacking him instead. So let's blast this battle mage, hopefully encouraging them to attack the archer instead of the dragon. Yeah, this is what I was hoping for, to kind of bait them into attacking lower value units. Perfect. Let's see. We have Putrid Breath. If we come here and Putrid Breath rather, that's big. Drain Familiar. We don't need to drain, but I am going to teleport forward here in the hope that we can get a good attack on one of these guys to kill this archer if we can. Teleport forward with this archer. Hopefully we can get, come on, give me like a crit or something. Oh, not quite. I'm going to go here and I'm going to drop the Rite of Bloodletting. That'll get me a kill, and then this attack will do work. Yeah, I'm worried about the dragon. Need to keep the dragon alive. Let's get this kill and get this kill. 1, 2, 3. Not even a little bit of damage. I'm going to pull you back to a safe distance to see if we can maybe retreat you. Move you forward 2 tiles. Bam, bam. Get behind him. If I don't get you off this battlefield, you're going to decay and die, I believe. So let's get you retreated. If I position you here, he can escape and potentially kill you. So I want to keep my dragon alive. So I'm going to just retreat him to a safe distance. He'll take a hit and then he'll do his best. Go ahead and chow on him with a Draining Bite, please, and chomp. So I lost on a pursuer. One of them retreated. One of my immortal died. My Bone Dragon lived. So this is a much better outcome than the auto resolve. Plus my hero leveled. It sucks that we lost a unit, but I think it was necessary. We do want to keep recruiting pursuers. We definitely want to try to clear this as well. My ruler has leveled up. I definitely want Mist Away. We also got to go for our signature skills. Let's grab Mist. Well, let's see. Signature skill. So we could be a Hemomancer, a Nightsworn, a Dreadful, or a Desecrator. So a Hemomancer gives the potential for blood empowerment, right? No. It automatically gives you blood empowerment. Sustain unblockable damage equal to 10% of your maximum health. Your next attack this turn deals plus 50% damage. That's quite powerful. If you were to do blood empowerment into Draining Bite, it's quite a powerful combo. Then you also have Blood Recovery, which recovers 10 temporary hit points whenever killing a unit. However, it will increase your upkeep. Then we've got Night Swarm. Adjacent enemy units sustain damage, have a 90% chance of becoming blind, and at the start of a combat, we conjure a Doom Bat, which is a tier 1 fighter unit. So Bat Swarm is a free action that does AoE, a small AoE damage buff. It also gives you access to Frost Strikes and Pack Leader, which makes animals more valuable. The Hemomancer gives you Inspiring Killer extra morale and positive status effects stripping. Then we've got Dreadful. It's a free action with 3 range that gives 2 torment to an enemy. Whenever a unit uses an ability that sustains damage, loses morale, and loses 1 stack of this effect. Status vulnerability and takes away their morale. You're a tyrant, so you cause 4 morale loss on enemies. And then we could also get soul draining strikes and Shield of Faith. Very cool. And then we've got Desecrator. Desecrator gives Dark Sacrament, which is a ability that uses all of your ability points except for 1, does plague damage, target corpse explodes, and all enemy units within a 2 hex radius sustain damage. Gaining diseased, decaying, and exploit vulnerability. Diseased is resistance against magic, and decaying is blight damage. At the start of combat, gain a zombie. You've got soul draining strikes and blight strikes. Okay. I like the idea of Hemomancer myself. It feels very blood vampire, which feels kind of the direction that we were going for. So I'm going to grab Hemomancer. Removing positive status effects is cool, but I think I want to make sure that we can get Vampiric Flight so that we can start changing this guy's build up a little bit. So Mist Away is going to be super useful, as it basically gives this guy a free get out of jail free card. And then Vampiric Flight is going to give him evasion, flying, movement, etc. So now we want to think about unequipping his mount, maybe? Or what is it? How does it work again? When not mounted, this unit gains flying movement and fast movement. So yeah, we're going to unequip the mount. So he has flying and fast movement. Perfect. But he is going to cost us a lot more to upkeep. We would like to found a city here. I'm going to have my hero chill for a turn or 2 inside my territory. I'm going to pull my hero back to here because he'll heal more inside my own capital city. These guys will heal just fine here. Although, yeah, no, they'll heal pretty much the same anywhere. Baneful Curse, awesome, new research, that's really good. I didn't realize I was researching that. Tyrannical Exploitation. Target vassal city no longer gains allegiance, and vassal income is increased by 20% for each point of allegiance income instead. Ooh, that's really good. Sanguine Focus would give us physical damage and bleeding effects on our battle mages. I think I would like to get the Blood Cultist, and I may want to spend money to finish this so that we're not negative on mana. Yeah, we got that outpost. Tranquility Pool acquired, which is going to help with our research a little bit. I think I'm going to produce merchandise for a turn in Grim Rise because I don't have the economy for anything else. All right, let me use my hero to engage this battle. I'm hoping that the auto combat will do the job without needing to do anything. Easy clap. We gain a bit of mana and some better boots. Right now we have some cusses, so I'm going to equip the Enchanted Boots of Swiftness, which was built by one of my heroes in a different game, which is really cool. I like that those like items that appear in your other games. In Grim Rise, we have a gold problem. We definitely need to build the mint. We also need to build a monolith. We need to grow this city quite a bit. The long-term return on the stonemason is that we would be able to build up the city quite a bit faster. So I'll go for the stonemason for now. I think that has a good long-term returns. Now there is a pretty big downside on our economy for having this dragon unit, but we need to translate that into victories on the battlefield. So Magaira the Scalded is here. She is a champion of the Pyrekin. So they're an underground Oathsworn. They're chosen destroyers, merciless slavers, so we're definitely going to be coming to war with these guys at some point. So I'm not going to bother sending them a welcoming gift because they're chosen destroyers. But that's someone we definitely need to keep an eye out for. I'm going to pull my hero back to heal up inside my territory because he'll get a lot of health there. We'll keep our stacks safe inside our territory for now so that we can keep having positive health. Grimrise is ready to annex a new province. We need a conduit to build the monolith, and we definitely want to build the monolith, which means we're also going to need three quarries to build it efficiently. I think I'm going to get myself a forester so that I can get the storehouse here, as the storehouse will give us a significant boost to growth. So we'll grab that forester. We do need to be aware of what looks to be some potential enemy stuff over here. I think I would like to clear the Fortress of Tears and start building up my second city here, even if it's just growing and generating a little bit of gold. I don't think I can afford a hero right now. Let me see. You've got a Specialist Governor, which gives special province improvements, cheaper production, extra happiness, extra knowledge, mana. You're a Conqueror Warlock. Okay, so this is undead themed. We've got a Ranger here who's a Scholarly Governor, good for research, also a Defender. And then we've got a Ritualist who is a support, who's an Arcane Governor. I think if I was to choose one here, I would go for Tyrannica the Beacon. Costs 150 gold. I think that's good. So I'm going to embrace her. She is a hero that has embraced vampirism. Excellent. So she's a vampire too. She's a vampire warlock. Now, she's a turned vampire. Their mortal champion origin skill is replaced with the vampire origin. They're undead, so strong against blight and frost, but weak to spirit and fire. Heartless means, immune to poison and disease. Weak to sunlight. They have vampirific regeneration, and any experience earned by this unit is given to the elder vampire. Ooh, when the elder vampire that turned them gains a signature skill, they become more powerful. I like that there's like a hierarchy. I think I would like to get her into the stack to start training her up. I'm going to get her into my hero stack. We met Anchoras. We definitely want to take these guys out at some point, but right now map is a little cramped and we're working on stuff. Just trying to take it one turn at a time. I'm going to move my hero out to here, so that they're in range of the Fortress of Tears that we would like to conquer next turn. These units are still healing, so I'm going to leave them there. In my new outpost, I'm going to go ahead and found a City of the Grim Wolves, because it's going to cost Imperium. And I'm going to send out an Immortal to do a little bit of scouting. Looks like we ran into Ursel Blackrose, who my faction is actually based off. This is an Elder Vampire Pureblood of the Black Marchers. So they're a cult of tyranny, prolific swarmers, and ruthless raiders. So they're definitely potential warfare coming for us here. They could be a little bit easier for us to make friends with. They feel threatened by me, so I'm going to let things develop as they should. Now, let's go to the next turn. Name Day Celebration, Baroness of Nomok. Order your finest artist, so I can lose money to... Nah, I don't care about that. Nope, I'm going to take Evil Faction Alignment because that's what I like. Right, let's bring our heroes into the Fortress of Tears. I'm going to bring the dragon as well. I'll bring a single Immortal plus 2 Pursuers. I'm going to send one of my Pursuers down here to the south to hit this watchtower. And then we'll peek into the void here, the gloom, the Umbral Abyss. We definitely want to consider going into the Umbral Abyss, but there is also some Archon blood over here that we want. We do have the Tranquility Pool, which is a part of a magic material. This gives us status resistance, attunement, weakening, cheaper to research spells. It's really good, actually. I need you to get out of the gloom. That Archon blood is going to be tough to break with the gold drag, the Prosperity Dragon. I am happy that my dragon has leveled up to soldier. I definitely want to get him to elite because that's going to give him a lot more effective HP. We finished researching the blood cultist. I would love to get the blood drinking blades. The mark of tyranny could be really useful, but let's go with blood drinking blades. He's building an outpost here, which is a problem. Let's enter the Fortress of Tears, attack the captors. So it looks like we're up against 2 heroes, 3 longbows, and a defender. Now, do you guys have Sundering of Defense? Okay, this might be a hard battle. Let's see what the auto combat does. The dragon retreated. We lost a pursuer. I think I can get a better outcome there. Now, I don't think these guys have any magic or any special effects. They have a hero on a chariot. He is level 1. The lesser blight shield. Okay, so we just need to be careful about hitting him in melee. Then the other hero... No, that's just a defender on a horse. This hero, Clara the Warrior. We've got a striking pike that does extra damage to large targets. So we want to keep this person away from the dragon. Damage increases as the target loses health. Also got a spider egg. Okay, problematic hero here. Lots of equipment on them though. Otherwise, it's just 3 longbows. And you're just a melee defender-y hero. You know, we want to avoid letting them get their easy long shots off. Unfortunately, we don't really have any ways to buff our units. That will come later. We have like item forge and stuff going. They made a spider. They're coming forward. 30 damage on the long shot. We are in range now. We can either pull back or pull forward. Now, the spider egg, the summon only lasts for 3 turns. I reckon if we pull back, we might actually have an advantage here because we're not reliant on summons. Now, if we did have a summon, I could run it at them and then drop a Rite of Life Leeching. I could hit them with the Baneful Curse. Let's do it. So they're weakened and misfortuned, and now they're rushing forward. I'm wondering if we can get a good breath here. That's a big putrid breath. We definitely want to make sure these archers are misfortuned and weakened so that their chance of doing damage is significantly reduced. We also need to take out this hero. Charge strike, hopefully breaking his defense mode. And I'm going to do a blood empowerment and go for a draining bite. Get some frost bolts on this guy. He has really good defense. Well, we need to take him out. Let's see what they do in retaliation. They did a big strike on my dragon, but thankfully the grazing and fumbles and weakenings are coming through. Boom. Okay, nice. My immortal kicking in. They're going for my hero. I can hit all of the longbows with the Baneful Curse again, and that is the unit that I'm most scared of in terms of DPS and damage. I would like to go here and tail whip them. Let's get the kill with our hero. All right, that's one enemy hero down. I'm gonna, well, That's a lot of damage if I push my dragon forward too hard. I could teleport this archer behind this guy to get a flanking shot. Can I do it again? Yes. Then I'm going to use my immortal as bait for this guy. And then hopefully do a tail swipe. I'll get my zappy guy up here. I hope he decides I really need this guy to attack him, not him. But we'll see what happens. Yes. Perfect. He wasted his attack on the lower threat unit. The immortal fulfilled its purpose. My dragon is taking a lot of damage. It's a problem. Sundering his defense. I'm going to drain some health before we rush forward. Dragon could get this kill, but then he'd be open to a lot of attacks. Get this frostbolt kill rather. Boom. And then we need to get our pursuers up here to try and finish some of these guys, or at the least weaken them. 39 damage. It's scary. The dragon might not live. Low morale helps. Ugh, the flank. You got a kill, so let's teleport forward. Obscured by obstacle is frustrating because I can't see what the obstacle is that's obscuring them. Bam, bam, bam. How about you? Can you teleport forward? You can. Similar. Let's do a blood empowerment on you. Rush forward and give him a donk. You should be able to move 3 tiles without issue. Blam, blam. Let's get you to here. Do a tail swipe. Get the double kill. Bam! Easy. Baiting the AI into killing immortals is actually really, really useful. So we got a chariot mount and a resistant chest plate. I'll take those. We got rid of the slavers. We gain a huge amount of production in Grimrise. We can gain a pop in Grimrise. That's nice. Release them or help them. These are our slaves now. Thank you. What, did you think I was the good guy? Definitely we want another quarry in the purpose of moving to the building the monolith. We also do want to grow our city a little bit faster, so a storehouse would be good. Getting to tier 2 could be really useful though, because there is the potential here for a blood cultist, a tyrant guard, and a warlock. I probably want the desecration chambers at some point, but we do have the ability to build the vampire castle foundation, which will give us Imperium income. Now this will also unlock a bunch of new stuff here. We've got the vampire castle chambers, which is just like leveling up the vampire castle. Gives Imperium vision range, magic origin unit, blood transfer, ritual spell, and then we've got the vampire castle deep crypts, which gives mana income per hero in the crypt. Heroes in the crypt can be resurrected. Vampires gain hit point regeneration in this domain. With the vampire castle abattoir, which gives heroes in the prison can be consumed to grant experience. Then we've got the soul forge, unlocks the drafting of vampire hatchling spiders, doom bats, shrieking bats, vampire spider matriarchs. Very nice. So I'm trying to think about what the next path forward for us is. I feel like trying to develop the economy of Grimrise is going to be really important because we're so light on mana right now that I really need to get that monolith. And I think the pathway to the monolith is to build another 2 quarries and then replace this quarry here with a conduit. Now that would take 5 turns. If I get the storehouse, it'll only take 4 turns. The city is pretty upset, so we are losing income. We could get the tavern to sort of resist that. I think I'm going to build the quarry, and I'm finally going to grab the desecration chambers. Now we do have a problem in that the city stability is slowly going down, and we need to kind of bring it up a little bit so we don't get revolts. I really don't want to declare war on this guy, but I also don't want him to get this. I need to know more about him. So sedentary incantum, this is the crystal dwelling. We can do quests for them. Let's ask them for a quest. And this just gives us more options with regards to, they want me to get a relic, with regards to how we expand and explore the map with our hero stack. Exploring with immortals. Yeah, I don't like that this guy's getting he's looking to get that Archon blood. Well, I haven't cleared it. We do have the Fortress of Tears, which gives knowledge per quarry, but more importantly, gives draft and Imperium. Let's hit up this watchtower. And so this is the Crystal Army protecting this. There's a lot going on down here. Definitely considering a city down near here to grab these blood glass locations. I don't think we need to recruit units right now. My ruler has leveled up, which is great. I think once we have Vampiric flight, we can start thinking about leveling them up in other ways. I would love a way to buff my army, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that from a Death Knight. So it might be better if we just keep developing his... Well, at the very least, it would be nice to get Knight for that extra defense. But also gaining Frenzy, see, Reckless Rage, Execute, Critical Momentum. I like the idea of Critical Momentum, so I might go Keen Edge into Critical Momentum. So when he gets crits, he'll heal more. I also want Undying Warrior. So I want the combination of Mist Away and Undying Warrior, who will make Stybor Erebus like really, really, really hard to like permanently get rid of. And that's kind of like the goal here with this Death Knight vampire build. Now my hero Tyrannica the Beacon has leveled up. Now, she is a warlock. We've got 3 main paths that we can go down. We can go down the Hex path, the Blood Pack path, or the Transfer Life path. So Transfer Life, target friendly unit gains 10 hit points and is strengthened. Units, this ability refreshes when units summoned by the caster die or this unit kills an enemy. Base attacks gain. Ooh, that's really nice. Reclaiming attacks. So basically, when Tyrannica the Beacon deals damage, she will heal nearby allies. I do need this little bit of regen, I think. We can summon a Bone Wyvern at the start of battle or 2 zombies. I think going down this more supportive Warlock path might be really good for us. So that's what I'm going to do. I need support in my main stack. So we got Clara the Warrior. We can sell their remains. I think we claimed all their equipment. Yeah, I think we did. Now we could sell them or we can keep them. I think we might keep them. If we check our hero overview, resistant chest plate, let's just equip it. Chariot mount gives hit points and very fast movement. I might give that to my other hero. The circlet of mind protection gives resistance. I'll equip that. Then let's have a look at Tyrannica. I'll give her cusses to make her a little bit tankier. Otherwise, we don't really have much we can give her. I will replace her chariot mount though. I would love a skeleton horse chariot mount. Now that would be sick. So a rivalry has been declared on me by Megaira the Scalded, who is a chosen destroyer. So that's someone we do want to be aware of. We don't know where their cities are, but that's fine. We need to gather as much power as we can over the next few turns while they look to declare war on us. Okay, we're continuing to explore with a unit that is not particularly well suited to exploring, but that's fine. We're kind of in this what looks like a sort of a mountainous valley in this kind of triangle here, which makes me feel quite safe and well nestled. I don't like that my hero's a little bit low on health. I would like to clear this NPC army just for the experience, really. But I would be helping out their outpost, so I'm tempted to go instead and clear out this thing. What is this? I can't quite tell. It would give us Imperium if we cleared it. I regret my decision. I should have come back here to heal. I'll heal up everyone except for my vampire leader. Should have thought about that. All right, so it looks like we found Morn Hollow. This is Ursel Blackrose. We're going to want to try to be friendly with him. I'm going to give him a declaration of friendship to try and make him feel a little bit more chill. Oh, nice food packet. Lovely. Now, Grimrise, we need to get the monolith and we need to get the mint. I think the library is worth building here. I think the tavern is worth building here because of the 20 stability. That's going to get us out of this minus 20% city income problem. So we got the desecration chambers in Grimrise, meaning we're going to be spreading sunless terrain. Duskfort doesn't have a governor, so I'll put Tyrannica the Beacon in charge there. Trying to think about what would be the most important thing for us to produce. We need to produce gold and mana in Duskfort. And I think let's go mana first, just because we're already negative on mana. So we don't care about all-seeing eye. Instead, I think we're going to pick up knowledge extraction, or impressment would give our tier 1 units faster experience gain. Knowledge extraction is really, really good, but I think leveling up tier 1 units faster is quite good too, considering we have quite a few tier 1 units, and getting them leveled up to max rank makes them a lot more effective. But yeah, I definitely want to go for this prestigious statue. I am very annoyed by this guy putting a city right in my face, stealing my Archon blood. It is what it is. Now, what my hope is that I can settle some grievances with him. Now, if I forgive him, okay, because he's a militant warlord, he won't take grievances. Okay, well, then I'm going to hold that grievance against him and use it as justification for war later. I really need a quarry, but I'm going to grab a farm in Duskfort first so that I can retreat my hero back to this tile so we can get a big heal on that tile. Okay, so he got the Sanctum of Screams over here. Interesting. We finished Blood Drinking Blades, but we don't have the mana to cast it. Let's have a look at what our next tome is going to be. I think there's a little bit of synergy with a few different tomes here. Like Tome of the Horde could be really good for us. The mob camp will make tier 1 units cheaper. It would really help us overcome our enemies, especially with Spawnkin, making our wolves more powerful. Like 20% damage for non-heroes and 10% evasion is really strong. Yeah, I do think Tome of the Horde is a really good choice here. I think that Tome of Rock with Obsidian Weaponry is really good too. That means our units could inflict bleeding damage and then benefit from the bleed that they inflict. Some of the abilities in here aren't particularly important to us. The Tome of Warden could be really good for us too. Getting a lot of resistance, in particular to lightning, etc. damage could be useful. But really, we would be picking this just for the magical wards. We don't have a support unit that we can make use of this with. Another really good option could be to go with more either a frost or an undead direction. So like the Tome of Necromancy here, There is some synergy here with like Rotting Explosion, Soul Collection. Necrotic Projectiles is really strong too because we can basically disable enemy healing. It effectively counters regeneration, and then we start getting access to souls. So I do think that either the Tome of Rock or the Tome of Necromancy is the path forward here. There's a lot of really good choices. For sure. Like there's even an argument here for the Tome of Beasts. If we wanted to go in a more of an animal direction, it would be really nice to get some early game astral affinity because some of the astral affinity stuff is really strong. Like just generally like better casting, better research, lots of mana, you know, extra knowledge when your units level up. That has good synergy with the impressment ability here. Better tile improvements, better knowledge, better teleporters. You know, from an eco standpoint, our economy is pretty weak. So it could be good for us to pick a tome that reinforces our economy. The Ritual Pyre is really good because it turns foresters into mana. The Tome of Alchemy here could also be really good because it would open up Materium and Nature affinities. The Alchemist Lab is pretty handy for research. The Material Refinery is good for research and gold. It's like not entirely terrible. I want to look into some of the later game tomes here, like the Tome of the Crimson Rain. That might have that might help me make my decision on which path we're going to take. So this is a damage and debuff spell that affects up to 3 enemy units that deals 10 physical damage and gives them blood parasite. Then we've got the Mantle of Noble Blood, which gives all tier 3, 4, and 5 units coagulate, which will bolster them. At the start of each combat, for each friendly non-summoned tier 1 and tier 2 units. Oh, extra hit points and healing. Okay, so this makes your higher tier units stronger the more low tier units you have. Then Gift of the Old Blood makes your units into undead life drinkers who inflict parasite. The Crimson Court gives hit point regeneration to high tier units and experience per turn. We gain the Crimson Court Magistrate, which gives us mana when we pillage provinces, mana when we raise conquered cities based on the population. We gain mana when we migrate a conquered city, and vassals give mana per income. Oh wow, it's very strong here. And then we would get access to the Blood Exarch. Ooh, very powerful. It has interesting synergy with the Tome of the Horde. The thing that I'm just thinking here is that blood drinking blades, dealing extra physical damage and healing more on bleeding enemies. The synergy with the Tome of Rock here and Obsidian Weaponry just feels so on the nose that it's hard for me to not go for. I mean, we don't care about some of these things, but all we want is Obsidian Weaponry and maybe like a whole tome just for this synergy. I feel like the Tome of Necromancy just does more for us, so I'm going to go with that. Let's have a look. I think we're going to go for necrotic projectiles here, so that we inflict decaying with our ranged units. And I think I'm going to head south here to start clearing out this southern area and also to build a town down here. Grimrise has produced a tavern, bringing the city stability up enough to where it's not super negative anymore. We could build the bathhouse to bring that up even more. It's very expensive, but we do have it boosted. It's expensive in terms of gold and time. I'm going to shift this over to being a conduit because we are growing next turn. So if we get one more quarry, we can build the monolith without issue. So I'm trying to see, is there something I could build in a single turn or two? Well, we could build the blood altar. The Dark Forge isn't bad either. I'm just going to build a library so that we can get started on the monolith as soon as possible because I'm really behind on casting some of my transformation spells here. So I just need lots of mana. Mana is what I am hurting for. All right, we're going to build an outpost here. That you drop into this. That's useful. I'm going to start bringing you back so you can participate in the combats that I'm setting up. So we're going to want to start clearing out this local area for the city. This is a pretty hefty stack. Maybe we want to get some levels before we tackle it. Maybe we should go for the production stash. Now these guys do a lot of spirit damage, which we are vulnerable to. Well, at least our big units are. So hoping for an easy auto combat. Looks like the Immortal died. I do need the Immortal to survive some battles, so I'm going to retry this to see if I can keep the Immortal alive, because I need to let him leveled up. I don't mind, once he's exalted, I don't mind him losing stuff occasionally. Right, I'm going to position my dragon here, so this guy is encouraged to come forward and hit him. Put my dragon into defense mode. Put my hero right there beside him, giving him shield wall. I'm going to heal my dragon with a blood transfusion. And then we're going to chill and wait for our enemies to approach us. Looks like they're doing some sort of like scatter strategy. It should be a relatively easy kill of the Zealot. We'll cancel this Zealot's retaliation. We'll open up on him with a bunch of ranged attacks. Bam, 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 bam. Well, he's basically vulnerable now. We'll zip forward here. I'm going to do Blood Empowerment and then a Draining Bite on this guy, Chomp, Big heals. And then I'll just do a quick Baneful Curse on these guys just to make them a little bit weaker. Oh, damn. I was not expecting that amount of damage on my hero. Well, it worked out for me, kind of. I need you to get this kill. Then we're going to charge strike this guy. I'll zip my hero away into defensive terrain. He must have crit. Well, let's Baleful Curse him again to try and lower the chance that he can crit me again. Oof. Yeah, scary. That's a lot of damage. Ooh, also they inflict Blood Parasite. They have Gift of the Old Blood. Okay, got it. Get up here, Chow. Get up here, Chow. Teleport you forward. Start shooting. You guys are strong. But we have this guy trapped now. I'll hit him with a Baleful Curse again. Take away his crit chance and DPS. All right, let's get this kill. Bam, bam, bam. And then we'll hit this guy. Boom. And then if we get a full unload with all of my archers, I'm pretty sure he's going to have a terrible day. Let's teleport you behind him. Hopefully getting the flanking attack. Boom. Okay, that worked out really well. That vampire slip away ability, the mist away ability, super great on Stybor Erebus here. So we got to level up on the dragon. We got to level up on the immortal. We got to level up on the pursuer. Perfect. Slowly gathering that power. Gift of the Old Blood. Oof. Blood Parasite. Yeah, we need to be ready to deal with that Blood Parasite. I'm tempted to recruit a Blood Cultist here to start replacing our pursuers as our main ranged units. We have a conduit under construction, so let's think about this. Where do we want to go next? We wanted a third quarry to build the monolith better, so I'll put a quarry down here. Grab that production stash, which will finish whatever Grimrise was producing. I think it was the library. Oh, we're still waiting for the conduit to come through for us to actually build that. The faster we get to our late game, the better. So I do think I'm going to grab myself some research here, because the Gift of the Old Blood down here in the Tome of Crimson Rain is so damn strong. Giving us that blood parasite effect is insanely strong. So I think research is actually going to matter a lot for us to get there, to reach our peak. Like, we have a strong early game and an okay mid game, but we have an incredible late game. And I think that's what we need to start pushing towards. Okay, Duskfort built its shrine. We need to get our gold income up as well. So I'm going to grab myself the collector. We need mana and gold. We just don't have enough of both right now. Okay, that's another war party. I've a bunch of war parties and infestations coming towards me. I might need to retreat back with my heroes for a few turns while we protect and defend our territory. Greetings, Eralazalia the Vainglorious. This is a Dragon Lord, the Starbred Salamanders, an Erudite Sage. They don't like wars and stuff like that. They feel indifferent to me. This is someone we could maybe have a relationship with. So I'm going to send them a welcome package. If I built a farm here, I could get my army inside my territory for healing, and an extra turn of healing would be great. We weren't able to reach this tile before I built the farm. And we want to get inside our territory because we need to go, I think we need to go clear out this haunted graveyard as it's sending things at us. We'll have to spend a couple of turns clearing out this nonsense. I'm tempted to get myself a couple of Outriders for exploration purposes because I feel like we're missing a lot of knowledge. Like, I'm exploring with military units instead of exploring with scout units, which is just not an ideal situation. We have found multiple entrances to the Umbral Abyss, however, which is great. So we have pretty good knowledge of that. I would like to enter the Umbral Abyss. It's just I'm kind of trying to stabilize my empire. We have a new empire development skill. Cheaper magic origin unit. Ooh, that could actually make my dragon. I believe it is a magic origin unit. So a 20% discount on this would mean like 10 mana per turn. So that's actually really, really, really strong and useful. So I'm going to take this because that should have brought the upkeep of this unit. Yeah, okay. It brought it down a lot less than I was expecting. Only 6. Still helpful. Yeah, we are currently last, but that's the reality of playing on Brutal. The AI gets a bunch of bonuses. Now, I've moved my armies up and bring the Pursuer as well. I need to save up to create a new city here. Oh, if I attack here, I'll have to take on 2 stacks. I'm going to wait a turn to get another round of healing in, so I don't have to fight, because they were not going to pillage it this turn. This gives me a chance to get a blood cultist on the field as well. So hoping that this guy patrols away. Perfect. Now we're also going to have to deal with another, let's see here. We've got a false flag strike. We can launch an attack here. I would lose 2 pops in Duskfort, but I would gain stability. I can sabotage construction, which would block construction but give me stability. I can brutally slaughter Tyrannica the Beacon. I think I'm just going to ignore them. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to damage my own empire for an excuse to fight someone. There we are in sunless terrain. So let's see what the auto combat serves up for us. Not too bad, but our immortal wouldn't level up, and I would like the immortal to level up. So I'm going to retry this and try to keep my immortal alive. Having an expendable unit that's also really strong really appeals to me, which is why I'm trying to keep my immortals alive. So we're up against a necromancer, a longbow, an archer, a zombie, and a sun priest. Okay, the sun priest is honestly not that scary. The necromancer is a bit of a problem because he's able to buff and heal / revive enemy units. So that's going to give him a lot of staying power. The big threat here is the longbow. We need to make sure that we position our line outside of this long shot. So basically build a line around here. So let me see, where was that again? This line. So I'm going to put my shield hero here, put you behind him, put you beside. We have an advantage in that, like, we're not in a rush to get up in the faces of our enemies. We can take our time. Then they'll all go into defense mode because they don't have magic, we do. So we have a significant advantage with regards to that. I'm definitely going to do a Baneful Curse here to try to reduce the amount of damage these guys can do. I could get a pretty nice breath attack, which will hopefully destroy some of their cover. We need to trap these guys. Let me do a blood empowerment and then do a big old bite on this guy. Chomp. I need to charge strike from this position so this guy is truly pinned and can't escape. Now you have Scarlet Plague. So let me get up here with this hero. Transfer life. Dagger stab. That will give us even more Pack Hunter on the blood cultist. And then if we blood parasite and teleport forward with you, we should be able to get this kill, triggering a blood parasite spawn. Perfect. I'm going to get my blood maggot to eat the corpse and then bite this guy. And then we're going to move up and start chomping on these guys with some ranged attacks. Perfect. So that was like what I feel like is almost a perfect opening turn. We killed the highest threat enemy unit. Yes, there's some units out there with good threat, but we have the tools to deal with them. Like, this guy just has no escape. So let me get this kill. I'll get my blood parasite to chase down this archer. I'm going to have my hero tank the counterattack. I'll zip my chariot away to a safe distance. Teleport. Oh, damn, these tiles aren't appropriate for teleporting. Teleport you here to shoot this guy 3 times. Bum, bum, bum. Try not to use magic if we don't have to save resources. I'm going to get you up on this guy because he's the only one who can. I need you to hit all 3 of these attacks. Okay, not quite what I needed, but we'll take it. Pack Hunter, long range, boom. And we don't really have I don't really have spells I want to spend mana on right now. I want to try and win this battle without spending too much mana. I love that the Blood Parasite's doing a really good job chasing down this guy. All right, let's give him the old claws. Good job, little Blood Parasite. Now, do you stay after the battle? No. I was hoping you would stay, my little Blood Parasite. Look at you, you're so adorable. All right, we need to get this kill. Bam, done. All right, we easily cleaned this up. We didn't lose our immortal. He got 6 experience, which is great. Few more people have leveled. More importantly, my ruler leveled up. I do like Second Wind for that extra heal. Usable after each kill. It's really strong. Like healing, movement, and slippery. So I'm going to grab Second Wind. I want my hero to be very sticky and difficult to kill. If I fall back a tile. Yeah, these guys won't be able to attack us. Meaning over the end turn, we will get another round of regeneration, and then we'll be able to take these guys out. I do really like these blood cultists. Being able to turn enemies into units is actually really powerful, so I'm going to get a few more of those. Necrotic projectiles is completed. I don't necessarily know if we need the necromancer. It would give us access to a support unit, but the strengthening undead thing would only be able, well, they would be able to buff our heroes. Having a necromancer with a bone dragon would be really useful to be able to revive the bone dragon in situations where it gets killed. So that is something that we should consider. Even just having a single necromancer with a bone dragon is like not a terrible thing. We need so much mana that I'm going to go ahead and build a monolith here. That's going to give me an extra 20 mana income per turn. That's huge. Tyrannica the Beacon has leveled up, and I really like the reclaiming attacks. This is going to give us a lot more regeneration on the battlefield. We could start casting blood drinking blades. However, I would like to keep some mana in the bank so that we can fight the next couple of battles we need. We do have access to battlefield looting, which is definitely worth getting in my opinion, but I think I would rather build my city first. So we've got the Sign of the Vanguard here. Shock units are going to have very fast movement, be harder to hit, but deal less damage. Interesting. So let's see. A friendship has been declared with me. That's amazing. Arizalesia. And they're also at war with Megaira the Scalded. This could be an opportunity for us to create a anti-Azira or anti-Megaira axis here. So that could be worth thinking about. Be a good way to get rid of her. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the friendship. Consumed by arrogance. So she puffs up her chest, is growing frustrated. So she could become an elitist. Now, right now she's a conqueror, so she has to win siege battles, which we haven't been really doing. I like the idea of elitist. Fighting alongside your ruler will give you renown, so let's do it. We need to fight this stack. I think I would like to get a knowledge extraction now, because we're about to fight a hero, so that's worth 150 research. Knowledge. That's a big stack we're dealing with here. They've got the Mantle of the Blood Noble. Yeah, they've got some late game buffs on their units. This is going to be a tough fight, particularly because this hero is level 3 with what looks like some good tier 2 equipment and tier 1 equipment, alongside a lot of buffs. Now, we do have a bigger army and, in theory, a stronger army, but pound for pound, their units are going to be very, very difficult to deal with. I think the auto combat will give us a victory, but a costly victory. Yeah, so we're going to have to fight this manually. We are going to be up against magic, which means we need to make excessive use of magic. I think the most important spell here is going to be Despair, because it's going to reduce the number of crits and successful hits they're going to get off. I'd say the biggest threat here is that the Dragoon. It's a high health, high defense, 60. Oh, wow, yeah. Now remember, these enemy units, they take 20% less damage and do 20% more, and they look for kills. So it's scary. You gotta always remember that. We are playing on Brutal Plus. These are very, very, very strong units. In terms of threats on the board, okay, Vicano's Rudder is a high threat unit because of his spirit damage channel. His Assess and Strike is dangerous too. Also, he has a polearm and he inflicts Marked and Blood Parasite. Okay, this guy is a huge threat. The Dragoon is a huge... Everything here is a massive threat. They have a Mage Lock Cannon too. Now, what's problematic about this unit is if we position ourselves in a defensive line, it will be able to hit multiple of our units. So pretty much everything here on the board is very scary to deal with, especially because this Fire Cannon ignores a significant portion of our defense. I'm going to go to this tile because I'm out of range of the Mage Lock Cannon. I'll put my dragon on the bottom right side here. You're going to be in... You're the wrong hero. Let me step you back a tile. Put my main hero here because he has the shield wall ability. Put my Immortal on the left. My archers and stuff here. Now let me see. What are we looking at in terms of Mage Lock Cannon? We can get up to here without provoking attacks. It's going to be a flanking force. All right, let's see what they can do. Now they will have magic and they're buffing with Fortune. So let's inflict Baneful Curse. This is going to give them Misfortune and Weakened. Misfortune and Weakened lowers their damage. Misfortune makes them have a higher chance of fumbling, and it counters Fortune, which is useful. Now the question is, do I want to get it on these 4 units or these 4? These 2 tiles are both valid. I could get my dragon up here to drop a big Putrid Breath and then get into the face of the Mage Lock Cannon, putting it into melee, meaning it won't be able to shoot without moving. If I step forward a single tile and then pursue, I could pursue with you as well. This guy does need to be dealt with, so getting damage on him is probably a good idea. The problem is this guy's really big on damage. The best person to be in his face is probably my main hero. So I might do a second wind to get him healed up a smidge, and he can also get in deep, but then he would be flanked. I'm going to get him here, attack this guy once, then I'll rush forward with my Immortal. Every time I say my Immortal, I think of that stupid meme. My Immortal. Yeah, I want you behind this. Let me heal and then shoot. Perfect. Definitely need to focus on killing this hero, so I think that's what we're going to put most of our effort into. We could almost kill him this turn, which is big. And we have significantly weakened our enemies using our spells. Now, we might lose a unit here or there, but that's okay. Oh, hero is looking weak. I'm going to Blood Parasite the hero. Then I'm going to drop the Rite of Life Leeching. Let's shoot this. Nice bit of healing. If you blast this guy, you should get a lot of health. Bam, bam. Okay. Kill this. Kill this. Kill this, please. Come on. Right, nice. Give me a kill. Come on. There we go. You can't do anything for a turn. So we lost a Pursuer, but we've come out a lot better. We've killed one of the biggest threats and one of the minor threats. There's still 2 major threats on the field, but this one is controlled. Tears of the Crimson Sovereign. Oof. Okay, that's tough. We might lose a unit here. There's a lot of passive damage happening to us. Yeah, okay. The hero died. We missed it away and healed, which is good. We don't have Resurgence on my hero yet. Eat that corpse and then bam, bam. We need to kill all the units that matter. So let me drain. You're taking 4 physical damage. You're taking too much damage. Okay, we need to kill this unit, and this unit in order to trigger the end of the battle. We can leave the blood parasite alive. Let's do a blood empowerment. On the way past this guy, we're going to drain him. Oh, I messed up. I thought I would be able to continue moving. I'm going to do Dagger of the Right on you, because this will give you resurgence after the battle. Bam. And I'm going to give this guy Remorse. Definitely need to take this out. Kill this guy. Boom. Okay, so there's only 2 units that matter now. And this guy has Resurgence, meaning he'll die at the end of my turn, but I will get him back next, like after the battle, as long as I win. Don't love the amount of blood parasites he's making. I just need this guy to come into range, and then we can focus on taking him out. Let's give him an old chomp. Fuck, I didn't think this guy would be in control range. Will the tail sweep kill him? Yes. So now we just need to kill this mage lock. Go eat this corpse and bite him. So if we kill this mage lock, these guys are magic. These are combat summons, so they'll die since they're non-vital. If we can just kill this final mage lock cannon, and we lost a lot more. Although the immortal and this guy will come back, but we're going to lose this, this, and this. So we'll have to figure out a way to revive Tyrannica. Unlucky. This was a much harder battle than I was honestly expecting. All right, kill this blood parasite. We're so close to killing this mage. This mage lock thing has just such high defense that it's actually tough to kill. All right, give me this kill. That's the end of the battle. Jesus. So that was a rough battle, man. That thing sent us a lot of noise. My dragon survived and got 5 XP. You survived but didn't get XP. You survived but didn't get XP. You survived and did get XP. And you got XP, so damn. Okay, we lost. At least we only really lost the pursuers. Losing the hero sucks, because we're going to have to try and get them back. Let me see. Tyrannica the Beacon. It only cost us 50 souls to animate her. So I'm reanimating her. She will now be undead. She's a turned vampire and Whiteborn. So she has lifesteal. A lifesteal and reclaim. That's the power of being undead, being able to turn corpses into fresh heroes. I am concerned about this, so I'm going to bring my hero over. Okay, I have a scout. I want to send the scout into the Umbral Malady to learn more about what's going on here. We've got our necromancer. Tyrannical exploitation. We don't really have any vassals, so I don't think that matters. The Mark of Tyranny would be good to give our blood cultists the Aura of Tyranny, which lowers enemy status resistance and also afflicts them with status vulnerability and will heal them. Soul Collection would allow us to turn gold into souls, which would be good, but I do want the Mark of Tyranny, I think. We captured Vikanos Rudder, who is part of Anchoras, and I think that has to do with our tyranny mechanic. So let's see. We have 1 hostage, which is boosting our allegiance slowly. Perfect. We need to capture more of them. All right, we're under attack, and auto combat does what for us? I don't want to lose the blood cultist, so let's retry this. What are we up against? We've got a pestilence crocodile with aura of disease. Disease lowers magic defense. He does a lot of damage, 15 damage per strike, 3 strikes per turn. Okay. Then we've got a bone wyvern skirmisher, which inflicts poison. 2 necromancers and a zombie walk into a bar. All right, let's have a think about how we do this. I definitely feel like the bone dragon's going to be a key player. I'm going to give you heal, plus I'm going to drain this guy. I'll save second wind for next turn. Making a blood parasite would really be helpful. I think I'm going to do the rite of life leeching. I'm going to do a second wind on you. Then I'm going to do a blood empowerment. And I'm going to do a draining bite on this guy. That gets us a ton of health. Let's give him the Scarlet Plague. What would a breath here look like? That's 3 enemies hit with a breath, which is good. And then if I get you up behind this hero, you'd be able to heal him more. Perfect. Move you guys up on the right flank where I want you to be. Shoot him. Okay, they're blasting my dragon, which is good because he's got a lot of health. That's not good. Yeah. Okay, hopefully we can kill the crocodile next turn. I have a plan for that. If I shoot you 3 times, that'll get a lot of health back for us. Okay, the reclaiming bolts didn't trigger because he's fully decaying. Bam. Big heal. Bam. Big heal. Come on, get me this kill. Come on. Perfect. Kill this zombie. Thank you. Now you're decaying pretty heavily. I just need to get you out of range of this bone wyvern. So if I step you 1 tile this way and teleport you here, he can't get you anymore. If you shoot these guys, you'll recover a bit of health. And if I get my hero over to this position, they're now in the aura of tyranny, and they will have to take a step in an unfortunate direction. Okay, blood parasite. Eat that corpse. Let's do a baneful curse on these guys to make them weaker so they can't have a good counterattack. Take a bit of decaying damage, that's okay. My hero still has slip away. He is going to revive that zombie. My hero has missed away, rather. I'm going to get my dragon over here to do a tail whip. It's going to be big damage. Still has 4 full stacks of decaying, which is a problem. We do a blood parasite. Here we go. Boom. Eat that corpse. Give him a nibble. Let's get you forward to eat up his retaliation so my hero can go full in. This won't get you any healing, but it would get you strengthened, which might let you kill this guy. It's close. Maybe a charge strike will bring him down enough. Come on. We just need to get him a little bit weaker. Just a smidge weaker to get this kill. Come on. There we go. Boom. And then let's focus on the units that matter. I want to kill the things that matter, not the things that don't matter. My hero died, but missed it away. That ability is so damn useful. And now we can kill this necromancer. And I'm not sure we actually took any losses there. I think we got away with it. Oh, this isn't a pointless unit, right? It's not a blood parasite. Sorry, I got mixed up there for a second. But 2 attacks here will get us some healing. And then we should be able to finish this guy. Okay, I don't think we took any losses. We did take some health damage. But yeah, that's what I would call a successful battle. Everyone's alive. Great. So my ruler is leveled up. He's level 7 now. I definitely feel like I would like to get down to critical momentum. I do like the extra vigor, but that will make things like blood empowerment take 10% hit points. Like, it'll just make him take more damage, although 15 extra hit points is a lot. I really want to get down to Undying Warrior, which will allow this Stybor Erebus to just be able to go crazy in battle. So I'm going to keep pushing down that left side tree. Critical momentum, like, he doesn't have a very high crit chance right now, but a 20% chance to heal for 10 hit points and get hastened is really strong. And then gaining fortune when you kill people. This will help counter misfortune and stuff. I do think that that's worth it. I also really need to get road building so that I have better map mobility, because map mobility is like almost everything in this game. But I'm just I'm being slowly choked by enemies on all sides. So I need to be just careful. I would like to annex the Fortress of Tears into this city. I have 2 farms. It would be nice to get a quarry in order to get the mana obelisk. If I build a mine, we could build the mint and get us lots of money. Let's build the mine so we get closer to the mint. And then I'm going to build the shadow trade quarter. Well, I should probably build the workshop first because production in here is really bad. I think overall that'll help the development of my empire more. Magaira the Scalded has declared war with me. That is useful for diplomacy because these guys might like me more. So I'm wondering if I could negotiate a wizard's bond with you. Now, what's useful for that is I now know where their capital is, and I might be able to get them to reveal more. I could sell them this for gold. I would really want mana. But yeah, now I know that probably Magaira is somewhere between me and them. I have no idea where she actually is. I do our people have underground adaption? Yeah, so it's likely they're in the underground. Okay, we weathered a pretty harsh storm there, and we found a teleporter to the Umbral Abyss. Whose territory is this? Ursel Blackrose. So Nemasgrad, Fungus Field, Snow Dungeon, Mana Nodes. Interesting. Okay, we can take a turn before we invade this haunted graveyard. And I think I am going to bring the war to Anchoras now. Because my hero is an imperialist, he wants to bring free cities to heal. So winning battles will help us earn renown. And leveling up as a vampire governor is going to have some really nice effects, right? Each population grants food and draft. Acquiring new population is cheaper. Mines give Imperium. Units cost less to recruit. So leveling him up in that fashion will be really useful. Even if I would love to come back here and start clearing out this blood glass stuff. I think if I start removing threats from the board, it'll help a lot. I'll pull another immortal out. Pop in this blood guy, my blood cultist. I have the mana now to do Flesh Carved Ruins, but I do think that Flesh Carved Ruins is better, I think, because it doesn't have a mana upkeep. And we don't have a lot of mana income. Yeah, I don't think I can do that one. Somehow I've become better. We met Nemasgrad. There's not much we can do about it. We met Business-like Get Gemkeep. But again, not much we can do about these guys at the moment. We're an aggressive faction. Okay, Haunted Graveyard. Put you behind. When we attack here, we're coming up against a spawner. Pretty much no casualties, so we don't need to do anything there. We got a Cosmic Orb, which is a tier 3 weapon. That's brilliant for one of our heroes. And we got a Necromancer. Now, it's not necessarily a Necromancer of the right faction and race, the Crooked Shadow Dwellers, but this Necromancer will be able to keep some of my units that are undead alive, which is great. So I'll put him into my support stack. Fantastic. We finished researching the Mark of Tyranny. Rotting Explosion will make skeletons and zombies explode. Skeleton Reanimation will give us the ability to revive racial units to create skeletons. Let's go with Rotting Explosion. No, I don't think I want any of these. I'm tempted to shuffle, and I will. Necrotize is really useful. It allows me to do it. It's a 20 damage frost blight channel attack that gives decaying and makes it turn into a decaying zombie upon death. Oh wow. There's like a frost dungeon down here. That's really cool. I've never seen that before. Grimrise has finished. I forget what it was building. Probably something to do with income. We definitely want to build the mint, but we'll need another farm. We will get a farm in 2 turns, which would be in time for the mint. Alternatively, if we wanted to avoid going into further negative income, which we will, I could build the bathhouse. All right. I think the bathhouse is the right idea here because it is also going to give any units that we produce an XP bonus. So let's grab it. Tyrannica the Beacon is leveled up. Now I could make her an Initiate of Chaos, which would give all non-hero units, if she's the leader, plus 10% critical hit shots. Or I could make her an Initiate of Shadow. I think I prefer being an Initiate of Chaos. But plus 2 damage on flanking attacks is really strong. I'm going to go with Initiate of Shadow because Soul Draining Strikes is really nice, as Soulbound will give us more decaying zombies. So let's do that. So we can either have a Bone Wyvern at the start of battle, which is a tier 2 unit, or 2 zombies. I think I would like to have just more units, so zombies is the play. I'm going to give you the Cosmic Orb, which should be about a 3 damage per attack upgrade, and also has wider damage channels. Perfect. And then the Mask of Accuracy will make you more accurate too. Perfect. So she's starting to become quite strong. Anchoras has sent a war party. Yeah, I think Anchoras has to be my big opponent here. So we're going to be at war with them a while. I'll recruit another Immortal to help out with my armies from Duskfort. Now this is an 800 combat power stack, so I would like to take them on. I got a hero join offer. Oh man. Okay, so this is actually going to be a really big kind of inflection point in this campaign. So I tell you what, I'm going to call it there. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!